Alright, come in. Alright, where's the PlayStation? And now we'll continue the class. We have a lot going on. I have a lot going on today. A lot every day. There's a lot going on every day. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Alright. Come on, guys. Thanks. That's her phone.
It'll be working when you do that.
Who's pro? Goodbye afternoon, guys. Let's go, guys. Being fast. That's kind of fast. It's kind of fast.
About a minute and a half left.
Let's go outside. Shit. Pay. Pay attention, sir. Shut pay attention. Sit quiet. Now.
More seconds.
Good.
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 Can you guess what undermine means?
It's
It's a guess.
It's
You don't
yours.
have to know. Yes.
Jeffries. Tokyo Rose. I know what that is. I know what that is.
All right. Everyone. Pencils down. Please bring out your binders and notebooks. If you don't already have them, you need to write these words down in the vocab section of your notebook. If you don't have it, bring out a piece of paper. Viola, bring out Viola. Madonna for having it out. Viola, where is it? Glenn, Samantha.
have to bind it out. You got it. Catch that. I made plans. We flip it back to back again. Back to back again.
We have the first word, which is undermine. Everyone should have vocabulary list. Number 3. Word, during World War II, female broadcasters such as Tokyo Rose were employed by the Japanese to spread propaganda and undermine the morale of the
Go
Allied.
again. You
The
won't
definition
let
of
me
undermine.
go again.
Why?
You won't let me go again.
To support? No. Select. Something that is not mainly focused on. Not exactly. Viola.
Yo.
Underestimate? No. Sorry? Downplay, Thomas. To think less of. Okay. In the interest of time, we're going to move on, and the definition.
Definition of
The computer is not the issue. The definition of undermine is to lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability of.
it means the power. It's the power to read. It's the
It is a verb.
power to read.
You can conjugate it. Something can be undermined. Or something
I'm gonna write that down. Got
it
it.
can be undermining.
Got it. I'm gonna write that down. Folks.
No. Number 2, a diehard reader. My Aunt Edith has a prodigious collection of books. Viola.
Power.
Impressive. What else? Impressive or large.
Passionate. And passionate. So impassionate.
Remember, Keisha, let's not call out, okay?
I'm calling
Numerous?
myself.
Okay.
If
Very
you,
good.
if you want to share your
Prodigious
answer, you gotta raise your hand
Means
and we
causing amazement
to the
or
call
wonder
on, okay?
or extraordinary in bulk, quantity, or degree. That is prodigious.
Prodigious is what? Can you explain one more time?
Instead of extraordinary in bulk, quantity, or degree, just say something that's large.
You just needed the definition? You can show it then.
Number 3, when the defendant put his feet up on the table, the judge scolded him for his effrontery. Nice, Sean. Disrespect. Why? What did you have?
Unrespectful. That respectful.
Sorry?
Only
Bad
that
behavior?
respectful.
Yeah.
Said.
Sorry?
It's not called out.
Carefreeness. Okay.
I know the words.
Disrespectful action. Effrontery means shameless boldness or insolence. My father used this word on me a lot. He just his father. He'll say, "Food." Yeah, he used that on me. When was the last time? I remember he yelled this word at me when it was like 2 a.m. one day, and he went into my bedroom and I was there to my couch. And he said, "How dare I have the effrontery to disrespect his household?" And he yelled at me. I used to sneak out all the time.
Audacity.
I'm not saying that you should.
Audacity.
So you say things, so you never thought before I said that. Are you proud? Sorry? Not proud of what I did, but I'm proud of it.
Oh, you regret it.
To be honest with you. All right, number 4. Number 4, the gardener works 7 days a week to keep my lawn looking immaculate. Darius. Perfect. Very good. Perfectly clean or tidy, or it can mean free from flaws or mistakes.
So
In other words,
cool.
Perfect or flawless. Thank you.
Cool.
That's a plus.
That's an A plus for you. A plus for yo. 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 Yo.
Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea how many times I come to this class with a fresh fade? I don't have one now. When I come with a fresh fade, no one compliments me.
That's a nice talk.
I won't take it. I won't take
The
it.
problem is, you guys have to use our vocabulary, so you can't just say like, "Oh, Mr. Simpson, you look nice today."
Looking perfect.
You have to use vocabulary.
I would even accept. When I
Glamorous.
come back with a cut, G, and then a slap in the back.
Glamorous.
I would accept that.
Oh,
But you have to use a vocabulary word.
Classes.
Number 5, Adisa's favorite element of the cruise was the beautiful views and the sublime scenery along the Alaskan coast. Jake.
Gendario.
Great scenery.
Great scenery? Not great scenery, but I can see
No,
how that
Gendario.
idea.
It's a yacht.
Fantasy life, Jaden?
Daddy.
Well, if you're reading it from the
Mr.
dictionary, then you
Gendario.
get it.
Darby Young.
What he
John.
just said. Very good.
Johnson.
Sublime, an adjective
Jake
meaning
Johnson
of
is
such
here.
excellence or beauty to inspire admiration or awe. Something that's breathtaking is sublime. No, you don't. Use your master's.
Who said Tony eyes are breathtaking?
Sorry?
Your eyes are breathtaking.
My eyes are breathtaking.
That's
Sublime.
not the vocabulary.
That's not the word.
Your eyes are sublime.
My eyes are sublime. Thank
How you
you.
mess that up?
You're cringe.
All right, very good. Number 6. On a foggy night, the crew thought they saw the apparition of their lost ship in the mist and disappearing. Eliza. Apparition number 6. We watch horror movies, we should know what this means.
No, I love.
Number 6. They saw the apparition of the lost ship. Phone a friend. Not literally.
Like they like got scared. They got nervous.
No. Apparition. An illusion. Hi, Sean. An illusion. An apparition is a ghost.
Wow.
Or a ghost-like image of a person.
Mr. Tony is an apparition.
How am I an apparition? Because you're nuts. You can't see me. What am I, John Cena?
Mine is stupid.
Did you get that? You really got that?
I got it.
Plus 2 for Moses.
What? I got it. Oh, you got it now.
You loser.
Oh.
All right.
Is your mind ready?
You guys done? You good? Mia. Number 7. Without guile, it will be hard for the young woman to survive as a politician. What does guile mean?
Oh.
Banta, what do you think guile means? Sorry? One more time? No.
No.
Yeah. Dedication?
Intelligence.
What kind of intelligence?
Smartness.
No, it's the same.
No.
Artificial intelligence, you said? No. Guile
Huh?
is sly or cunning intelligence.
Trying to con.
Almost like being wily, slick, crafty. What was the word? Oh, I already said wily.
Wily.
Being crafty.
So if you are wily, you have the characteristic of having
Being
guile.
crafty.
Remember, guile is a noun, not an adjective. You can't describe someone as being guile. But they have guile.
This said Tony.
Really?
Really
That's what we're
dialed.
playing right now?
This said Tony.
I'm
Really dialed.
guile, that's not a word.
Dialed it. Dialed.
Number 8.
Why not?
How can you denounce the restaurant food if you've never eaten there? A little bit stronger than that, James Flower.
Maybe.
To degrade, very good. Denounce is to degrade, to condemn, to point out as wrong or
Ray.
Criticize.
criticize, very good.
To hate.
You've ever read
Trying to
a review
entertain
of a
it.
review, It's just like,
Well, criticize and condemn.
Being
Same thing. But
condemned.
A stronger connotation.
Showing dead respect.
Number 9. A good
Showing
percentage of homeless people suffer from some untreated
paint
mental
to
affliction.
your
The
voice.
definition of affliction could be what? Alan, what do you think? Affliction.
Oh. Oh.
Read the sentence. A good percentage of homeless people suffer from some untreated mental affliction.
No
Sorry?
more.
Pain? Okay, pain, Elijah.
No unrespect.
Problem?
Healthy.
Okay. Yes. Something that causes pain or suffering is an affliction. There could be a sickness, an injury.
It's what we do in your scenes. Behind the
So again, an injury, a sickness. You could have the affliction
I
of
hope
heartbreak.
it is fun.
Raise your hand if you've had your heart broken.
This is
damn.
I've had my heart broken.
I have not had my heart broken.
I've had my heart broken. Sophomore year of college.
Mommy, right?
You was being
Huh?
a simp, right?
Were you even alive then?
No.
What year was sophomore year of college for me was 2009.
Yeah,
2019. I was trying to subvert the college for 2019. For 2000. Almost 2 years
That
ago.
was my experience, the affliction of heartbreak.
of teenage heartbreak. It was teenage heartbreak. This is fucking fake. Freaking fake. This is teenage heartbreak. Teenage heartbreak. This is for my teenage heartbreak experience.
All right.
Whole experience.
All right.
I
Next
show-
one. Levi. Number 10, the vile man fed the dog rat poison. Thomas. Evil or sinister, vile.
A devil.
Extremely unpleasant or morally bad. Also evil, sinister, wicked. Very good.
Devil. This is devil.
A vile man.
A devil. Rap wild. Rap wild. Rap wild.
All right.
Wild. I'm a rap guy. I'm a rap guy. I'm a rap guy. I'm a rap devil.
All right. Please have these words down. Remember, you will have no oral drill. Don't have quizzes. The same protocol as always. Now, everyone, you should have your book out in front of you. You've received your copy of the Crucible. Raise your hand if you did the homework. What was the homework? Already.
Real answer, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get fired.
All right. Number 9. All right.
Causing pain. Causing pain. Causing.
All right.
My
Today we
doubt.
will begin the Crucible.
Pain. Pain. Look. Look. Oh yeah. That's why I like. That's what I like. That's what I
All right.
like. That's
Today we have an objective. The objective is to analyze Arthur Miller's opening commentary in the Crucible to determine the author's stance on why the Salem witch trials occurred. Now, everyone, class. You know why I'm being loud?
Why?
That doesn't mean be loud. That's 2.
Wow.
Now, today is the first day of reading the Crucible. So,
I can read the crucible first.
this is the day where you set.
Give it.
This is the day where you
Stop,
set the
stop.
tone for yourself. Are you going to follow along?
There's
Are you
only
going to
4
pay attention?
acts.
You realize that if
I
you
guess
don't, you're
about
already
an
going to be
overture.
behind. And then before you know it, you're writing the essay for the Crucible, and you're saying, I didn't read it, and then you get a 6th grade. Right, Diva?
47.
Right?
Totally right. Definitely. Completely right.
Now,
Abigail.
this is a play,
This is my play.
meaning
I like that.
that we will act out
I like the
some of the
crucible.
reading. Every single day you come in, you will be assigned.
Hey, that is.
Wait,
Let's
how many
wait.
more readings can you do?
Let's wait here.
Sorry, if we can't get to it in class because people are in trouble, you have more readings.
We won't.
Every single day you will have characters. There will be characters, and I will pick scholars to portray them. I'm going to tell you right now, if you just flat out refuse, I don't want to read today, I don't care.
Okay.
You're getting a referral, and you're getting a 0 for the day.
I want to be
If it
Abigail.
goes towards your grade, you do not opt out of
I
reading.
want to be Abigail.
Okay? No questions right now.
I want to be Abigail.
We're going to read Act 1
I want to
in
be
class.
Abigail.
We're gonna wait and see who Mr. Simpson calls. Okay?
We're going to read Act 1 in class. I will not assign you reading this week for Act 1. We will do it all in class. Starting with Act 2, you will have more independent reading. Acts 3 and 4, you will mostly be doing independent.
Independent.
So,
That doesn't mean.
first thing we have is the Crucible. What is a Crucible? Does anyone know what a Crucible is?
You first
Make
put
sure you
your
write
hand
this down in
down.
your notes. Start a
You
new
put
page
your
of notes in
hand
the reading
down.
section of your notebook or binder.
Give some
And we
people
will
a turn, Diva.
Notes. We are also
Give.
not looking at
He's
us.
raising his hand. He doesn't give people a turn. Give people a turn.
Diva, what is it?
The principal
Give-
a mere Miller, you.
Nope. You're just reading the back.
No,
of the-
you're give them a turn.
No.
Please.
All right.
We're right.
I am waiting
It's
for
not
you to have
giving.
their notebooks out
If-
Have a notebook.
because we're taking notes on this. A crucible is one of two things. Please take notes on this material. A crucible is either, number one, a metal or ceramic container in which other metals may be melted or subjected to very high temperatures. I'm gonna go to the next slide real quick, but I'll be right back to this one. Anyone ever seen this before?
Just saw it before.
That is a crucible. That is what metals are melted in to make them as pure as possible.
I know what the
Take out any of
crucible
the
is. It's a
impurities.
fire.
That's in the liquid
It's
spring
in the fire.
Well, it's not. That's what are they called? Sorry,
Cold.
Holder.
Cauldron.
Holder.
Cold.
What I'm thinking of is the profession of people who actually use
Cold.
Are they still?
Cold. Yeah.
I'm sure there are.
Mm.
That is the back of a Puritan woman's head. So it is that is the garb that the Puritan women would wear on their heads. Number two is maybe an even more important definition of a crucible. It's a place or an occasion of severe test or trial. Meaning, a time in life when you find yourself severely tested, not in terms of like a literal test, like a vocabulary test, but like a test of your beliefs, of your ethics. What is something, an event in your life that could be considered a crucible? Something that tests you in terms of your beliefs. It could challenge your perception of who you are. Maybe not going to church. What do you mean? Just religion in general?
Like being a sin,
Okay, so continual sinning perhaps? Maybe could be a crucible. What are some events, not that are going to happen, but that could happen to anyone's life that could be crucibles?
They had to kill somebody.
Murder? Yeah, absolutely.
War.
Also the trial for that murder?
War.
War, very good. What else? Just yell them out. Anything else?
School.
In a way.
Cartel.
The cartel?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you encounter the cartel, that could definitely happen. What about imprisonment?
No.
Going to prison. A severe test that could shake you fundamentally and your beliefs. These are examples of other crucibles. War, growing up, a survival situation. If you're stuck on an island, chemotherapy. Yeah. Wow. Well, do you know what chemotherapy is? Yeah. So, I mean, that is a time in your life when you are going under great emotional, mental stress.
Also,
Because it's the
chemotherapy.
potential of you passing away.
Yeah, chemotherapy is like really rough on the body.
Yeah.
So it's a really harsh treatment and many other things.
Make sure you include a couple of these in your notes as examples of crucibles. All right. Everyone, in your notebook, please make sure you create the following character chart. Make sure you include the following character chart. You should dedicate like 3 pages just to character charts because these are not going to be characters. These are just the first characters we encounter. There's going to be a lot of other characters that we have to characterize. So you need to create a characterization chart in your notes, in the reading section. Moses, you need to be doing this. Sir. The first 2 characters we need are Reverend Harris and Abigail Williams. Come on. Pick it up. Hold that to yourself because it's really annoying and no one cares that you're tired. I didn't say to reply, I said to take these notes because you haven't done anything yet. I didn't say to reply to that either. Okay. Once again, leave enough room to add a good amount of information for both characters and to add a lot of characters. Have like 3 pages dedicated to character charts. What? I already said it before. Now you're reacting to it. That means you weren't listening before. So Yusef, based on that reaction, it tells me you're not continually listening. So once again, I will repeat in case you already forgot. Look at me. Character charts at least 3 pages deep, but that doesn't mean you stop writing. It means you continue to write.
I'm writing.
I'm coming at you with a what?
That's just motivation.
It says motive characterization and motivations. Yes. Remember, when I do a notebook tip, you need to have these character charts filled out. Today, we're going to start doing the first one on Reverend Paris. Tomorrow, we will do Abigail Williams, and we will discuss both characters.
That sounds fun.
All right. Questions or concerns? Abigail Williams. Okay. Let's continue.
That says Paris?
Reverend Paris. All right, here we go. Everyone, please make sure that you pay attention to stage directions. This is a play. It has stage directions. These stage directions can be very revealing when it comes to the message and the motivations of the character. Miller, Jawad, includes his own commentary in which he speaks to the reader directly. So everyone in your book, please turn to page 3.
All right, folks.
Thank you, Yusuf, for getting that originally. Blood, Fanta, Eod, Sean. So page 3 is where we're going to start. And on page 3, when you see before the dialogue, if you turn over to the next page 2, you will see that Miller is speaking directly to the reader in these pages. These are the pages we're going to read together today. So everyone, start off on page 3. Today's essential question is the following. According to Arthur Miller, why did the Salem witch trials occur? And why were they so quote-unquote successful? If you turn your do now around, you'll see that that is your exit ticket. So you will be annotating for how and or why the Salem witch trials were successful and why they occurred in the first place, according to Miller. So, everyone, page 3. We are going to begin reading. Go. Let me make sure I have this up for everyone. Can everyone see this? Oops, that's really good. Okay. The first thing we are annotating for is Reverend Paris and his characterization. So once again, on this page, we're annotating for Reverend Paris.
What are we annotating?
Characterization. You're annotating for Reverend Paris' characterization. And where are you adding all of this characterization, Moses? In the chart. Very good. Thank you. All right. Please remember, as I read to any words you don't know, circle them. Any ideas that stand out to you, underline them. Any questions you have, write them in the margins. Here we go. Act 1. A small upper bedroom in the home of Reverend Samuel Paris, Salem, Massachusetts, in the spring of the year 1692. There is a narrow window at the left, though through its leaded panes the morning sunlight streams. A candle still burns near the bed, which is at the right. A chest, a chair, and a small table are the other furnishings. At the back, the door opens on the landing of the stairway to the ground floor. The room gives off an air of clean spareness. The roof rafters are exposed, and the wood colors are raw and unmellowed. As the curtain rises, Reverend Paris is discovered kneeling beside the bed, evidently in prayer. His daughter, Betty Paris, aged 10, is lying on the bed, inert. Which characters are we introduced to? Brandon, who are we introduced to? Reverend Samuel Paris. What's his daughter's name? Betty Paris, his daughter. Very good. The setting, Salem, Massachusetts, in the spring of the year 1692. Anything stand out about the description of Reverend Paris's house?
Yeah, it's fancy.
It's not fancy. It's the opposite of fancy.
Unfancy. It's kind of like old.
It's kind of old. Okay, based on the fact If this was a Puritan community, do you think they valued material items?
No.
No. Anyone know what this word means? Spareness? If something is spare, it means there is not a lot of it. It's almost close to the point of emptiness. Okay? Not a lot of things in the house. Now, what is going on? What's the situation? Reverend Paris is kneeling beside his daughter's bed praying, and she is lying on her bed inert. First of all, is there a word here we need to interpret?
Yeah.
Which word?
Inert.
Inert? Inert. What does it mean for something or someone to be inert?
Sleeping.
Not sleeping, but close.
Oh.
Almost. Lifeless. Inert pretty much means motionless. Thank you. So, inert meaning motionless. We have Reverend Paris praying at his daughter's side, kneeling down, and she is on her bed motionless. What can we first might be going on, Thomas? She could be sick.
She could be like dying and like praying for me.
She could be dying. He's praying.
She's gonna be accused of being a witch.
Okay, that's quite a leap from that, but maybe.
Unless maybe she's like possessed or something.
She could be possessed by something, and he's praying for her salvation.
Oh.
The same thing. You said back to you. Oh, you had your hand up. Okay. All right. We're going to keep reading, and now, in this next paragraph, let's focus on the characterization of Reverend Paris. Here we go. At the time of these events, Paris was in his middle 40s. In history, he cut a villainous path, and there was very little good to be said for him. He believed he was being persecuted wherever he went, despite his best efforts to win people and God to his side. In meeting, he felt insulted if someone rose to shut the door without first asking for permission. He was a widower with no interest in children or talent with them. He regarded them as young adults, and until this strange crisis, he, like the rest of Salem, never conceived the children were anything but thankful for being permitted to walk straight. Eyes slightly lowered, arms at the sides, and mouth shut until bidden to speak. His house stood in the town, but we today would hardly call it a village. Then shut up. I am reading. You understand that? This is not elementary school. You can hold it in for 5 minutes. Exactly. The meeting house was nearby, and from his point outward toward the bay or inland, there were a few small windowed dark houses snuggling against the raw Massachusetts winter. Salem had been established hardly 40 years before. To the European world, the whole province was a barbaric frontier inhabited by a sect of fanatics who nevertheless were shipping out products of slowly increasing quantity and value. All right. How can we characterize Reverend Paris? This is what you should include in your character chart already. Everyone wrote a chart. Everyone should be including this. I should have more than one hand. Way more than one hand. How can we characterize Reverend Paris? 2, 3, 4, 5. Eliza. Sorry? Okay. What else? He's going through some hard times. What else? Let's be more specific. Thomas. He doesn't care about children. Okay, very good. What else? Yusuf.
He's very evil and has little bit,
How is he evil? What textual evidence leads you to believe that he's evil?
and I think there is very little good for him.
So first of all, describes him as what? Villainous, and then there's very little to be said for him. Okay, you can definitely add that to our characterization chart. What else? Colette. He's a widower. What does that mean? Okay, wife passed away. He's a widower. Anything else? What does it mean that in a meeting he felt insulted if someone rose to shut the door without first asking his permission?
You think he's above himself? Like, I mean, he puts He thinks he's like better than everybody else.
Okay, thinks he's better than other people. What's a better word to describe someone who thinks they're better than other people? Superior. Any other vocab words that we learned?
Hold on.
Believes he is superior.
Inaccurate.
Did we ever learn any words that mean arrogant
Yes.
or above everyone else?
What's the word?
Vile.
We learned a few of those, Jade. Sorry?
Vile.
Vile, not vile. Vile meaning evil or morally wicked. He could potentially be described as vile, but we don't know. We don't have enough information. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. Anything else in terms of characterizing him?
No, babe.
Okay. Now, at the very top of page 4, it says that the European world, the people across the Atlantic Ocean, believe something about the Puritans. What do they believe about the Puritans? What are the Puritans like? How do they characterize the Puritans? Hi, Sean.
That's vile people.
As vile people, what do you mean? What's the language that they use? That Miller uses? I'm going to let everyone read the top of page 4 once again. How does he describe how the Europeans thought of the Puritans? Viola.
Sect of fanatics.
Okay, a sect of fanatics. Very good. What is a fanatic? What do you mean?
So super, I don't know, definition.
No. What was the first thing you said?
Crazy.
Crazed, in a way. Crazed because why?
Fanatic, like a fan of a certain person.
Okay, does it have a positive or a negative connotation?
Negative.
Negative connotation. It's when you're excessively devoted to something. Okay? Excessive devotion. And based on what we know of the Puritans, what were they fanatics of? Brandon. What were the Puritans fanatics of? Sorry? I know. You should be able to answer this question. Fanatics means you're extremely, obsessively devoted to something. What were the Puritans fanatics of? Sorry? Not the Salem witch trial. That's what that was an event that happened because of their beliefs. God. Does that make sense? Fanatics of God. So I think it can be assumed that Reverend Paris, first of all, he's a reverend, right?
What's a reverend?
Yeah. What's a reverend? You don't know what a reverend is? You never heard of a reverend before?
No.
Viola.
Like a priest.
A priest. James, is that what you said too? Reverend? Someone who works in a church, a priest from a church. Very good. And what is most important in Puritan communities above everything?
Religion.
God, religion. So do you think a preacher or a reverend would have a high social standing?
Guys.
Yes.
If the most important thing is God, he is a reverend, would he have high social standing? Absolutely. He would definitely have high social standing. We can include that in our character charts for Reverend Paris. I don't see enough people filling out all this information. He can be controlling. He is a religious man. Character chart. You're not filling out. All right, we're going to continue reading. Down here, what we're going to annotate for is the Puritan way of life. Puritan way of life. As we read, I will ask you, what or how Puritan life is described. Here we go. Go for it.
No one can really know what their lives were like. They had no novelists and would not have permitted anyone to read a novel if one were handy. Their creed forbade anything resembling a theater or vain enjoyment. They did not celebrate Christmas, and a holiday from work meant only that they must concentrate even more upon prayer. Which is not to say that nothing broke into this strict and somber way of life. When a new farmhouse was built, friends assembled to raise the roof, and there would be special foods cooked and probably some potent cider passed around. There was a good supply of ne'er-do-wells in Salem, who dallied at the shovel-board in British Bishop's Tavern. Probably more than the creed, hard work kept the morals of the place from spoiling, for the people were forced to fight the land like heroes for every grain of corn, and no men had very much time for fooling around.
Thank you, Ms. Costa. Now, how is Puritan life described? How is Puritan life described? Jake? Strict and somber. Somber is one of our vocab words. What does somber mean?
Sad.
Sad. Very good. Strict and sad. How else is it characterized? How else is Puritan life described? Thomas? They never stop working. When they do get a break, what do they devote that time to? Praying even harder. Very good. Anything else about the Puritan way of life? No fun. It's strict. It's somber. Sounds like. Madonna?
That one you said, when a new farmhouse was built, friends sent to raise those.
Sorry, one more time. Where'd it go?
When a new farmhouse was built, friends sent to raise the roof.
So did they help each other out?
Yes.
Yeah, they were a tight-knit community. They helped each other out. Very good. Now, right here, this next paragraph that we're going to read annotates for the conflict within this community. We're going to annotate for the conflict within this community. This lists two big conflicts that we need to make sure that we understand. Here we go. That there were some jokers, however, is indicated by the practice of appointing a two-man patrol. Everyone circle or underline two-man patrol. And I'm going to ask you for the purpose of this two-man patrol after I read this paragraph. Appointing a two-man patrol whose duty was to, quote, walk forth in the time of God's worship, to take notice of such as either lie about the meeting house, without attending to the word and ordinances, or that lie at home or in the fields, without giving good account thereof, and to take the names of such persons, and to present them to the magistrates, whereby they may be accordingly proceeded against. This predilection for minding other people's business was time-honored among the people of Salem, and it undoubtedly created many of the suspicions which were to feed the coming madness. It was also, in my opinion, one of the things that a John Proctor would rebel against, for the time of the armed camp had almost passed, and since the country was reasonably, although not wholly safe, the old disciplines were beginning to rankle. But as in all such matters, the issue was not clear-cut, for danger was still a possibility, and in unity still lay the best promise of safety. So, what conflict does Miller reveal about this community? What is it about the people of this community that could create potential conflict between them? Yusef.
They're like maybe they don't you like to know about other people's business.
Okay, where's the textual evidence for that? Where's the textual evidence that means that reveals that these people are nosy people? Jawad.
There's a I don't see that word.
Predilection, anyone know what that means?
Reminding other people's business with time honored among the people of Salem.
Very good. Predilection, meaning preference. And what did these people like to do?
Right.
Pray, but what else did they like to do according to this sentence? Sorry? Not help each other. Gossip. Like to gossip about people's private lives. I mean, listen, they got no technology.
Yes.
What's their entertainment? Their entertainment is other people's lives, gossiping, talking about the latest drama. What is the purpose of the two-man patrol that's sent out? Not to stop them from doing it. So the two-man patrol, check this out, everyone pay attention, whose duty was to walk forth in time of God's worship. What is the time of God's worship? But what is the time of God's worship? When do people usually go to worship? Church. When people are in church, what do these two-man patrols have to go do when people aren't in church?
Look for them.
Sorry, look for who?
The people who are supposed to go to church.
The people who are supposed to be going to church. To take notice of such that either lie in the meeting house without attending, or that lie at home in the fields without giving good account thereof. So, this is such a theocratic society, meaning religion is so important in this society, that if there is like a sermon going on and the preacher is giving his sermon, and you are not there, there is a two-man patrol that's going to come around, make sure that you are there, and if you're not, they're going to take your name down, and who are they going to give that name to?
The father.
The priest.
The father.
And there could be punishment imposed on them.
whole punishment.
That's right. Very good. Okay. Now, we're going to continue reading at the very top of page 5. Volunteers 3.
Me.
No.
What?
Okay. Eva, you will read the first paragraph on the top of page 5.
Wait, the top?
Top of page 5. Go for it.
The edge of wilderness
Wilderness.
was close by. The American continent stretched endlessly west, and it was full of mystery for them. It stood dark and threatening over the children's night. And for out marauded from time to time, and revered parishioners who had lost relatives to these
Heathen. So, who are the outsiders that they're in conflict with?
Native Americans,
Yeah, who are the outsiders that they're often in conflict with?
Indian tribes.
Indian tribes. And they are described as heathen. What is heathen?
monsters.
Not monsters. Heathen is another word for someone who is non-religious. Because these people don't have a religion, the Christians feel like they must save them from eternal damnation. The next paragraph. Jane Flowers, headphones off, please. The parochial snobbery of these people was partly responsible for their failure to convert the Indians. I'm going to read that one more time because like 5 of you people were not tracking your novel.
I'm tracking.
The parochial snobbery of these people was partly responsible for their failure to convert the Indians. Probably, they also preferred to take lands from heathens rather than from fellow Christians. At any rate, very few Indians were converted. And the Salem folk believed that the virgin forest was the devil's last preserve, his home base, and the citadel of his final stand. To the best of their knowledge, the American forest was the last place on earth that was not paying homage to God.
Homage.
Homage. Now, what did the Puritans believe about the forest? Colette. Sorry? Yeah, it's the devil's domain.
That's why they killed.
It's the devil's domain, the forest. Out from the forest come the Native Americans, the tribes that attack us, the enemies, the other. The devil is out there. All right, next paragraph. Mr. Costa, do you mind picking up the next paragraph? Thank you. Go.
All right, I'm
Wait,
waiting.
actually, Mr. Costa, in the interest of time, I would like everyone to please turn to page 7. Please turn to page 7. There's a paragraph on page 7 that begins with Reverend Harris is praying now. Are we all there?
Yeah.
That is the paragraph you're going to stop reading in. Do not read from that paragraph on. So all you really have to do is read, like, what, 2 pages. Not that much. Okay?
Wait. I'm gonna ask that in class.
Tomorrow. Now, everyone, class, pay attention. It's right up here, please, so that you can get these directions. You will read and annotate up to that part of page 7
Go back to
and
the
look
sheet,
at
sir.
your exit ticket. That is the homework that is going to be due tomorrow in class. Do not lose your exit ticket. Are there any questions?
Wow. Here we got so much more. I had a lot going on. I had a lot of fun. Please like that video. Like, subscribe, comment down below. What's your favorite on the Crucible? Hit the bell button. Just follow me on social media. See you next time. Good talk, folks.